All right, so I moved into my new place, got the what I call my studio set up, and this is kind of the view you're used to seeing. So I'm not ready to do a battle report or anything like that. So what I thought I would do would kind of take you behind the scenes and show you how I set up my table for the videos. So this is the view you're used to seeing, and of course there would be buildings and whatever else down there, and the battle would happen there, and we'd have the armies set off to each side. Where's my hand? There it is, off to each side. The problem I had was this camera lens. Now I'm going to unscrew this lens here that's on it right now. Sorry about the shaking. This is the way this lens goes on. This is a wide angle lens, so when I first bought the camera, I'd have to have the camera so far back that it was hard to see the table. So I got a wide angle lens, and you can see the difference that wide angle lens makes now. So I've been using this wide angle lens so I can get up closer. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take the camera down, and of course I'm not going to use the wide angle lens. I'm going to take the camera down and actually show the setup. So hold on for just a second while I unhook the camera here. There we go. Sorry about the shaking, but I had to unhook it. Okay. So let me see if I can zoom out. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pause this for just a second because I'm going to put this on a tripod. So just hold on. All right, so now it won't be so shaky since it's on a tripod. I've had some people ask about what I use here, and I'm going to actually go up here so you can kind of see it a little closer. What this is actually I went to the hardware store and found some AstroTurf. And there was one that was kind of really cheap, and then there's this one that was a little more expensive. And I like the looks of this one a lot better. With the blades of grass are much better. I think I can probably, it's going to zoom so slow right now. And what I did was I put there's glue that you spray glue. So I sprayed it, and then I put some rocks that's flocking, like railroad or modeling rocks, and different flock colors on here in different places so it wouldn't be all just one color. It's kind of spread out. And I had extra pieces left over, which I then formed into the hills, and I did the same thing with the hills. So that is how I made this. And when you first buy it, it is really kind of pokes your hand. It doesn't feel very good. But we played on it so much now, it is no problem now. I'm going to move over to the side here. And what I've done is I've just taken a black sheet, put it over the board here. So this is where we lay the models. And what I bought was, they're called MDF. I went to a hardware store, looked at all the different plywoods and stuff, and what I found was this MDF board. And I didn't have to sand it, smooth it, or do anything to it. And I did buy a really thick one because I didn't want it to bend or anything like that. And so this is just the MDF board. Underneath that, I'm not even going to lift the MDF board, I'm going to take this to the side here, is I used to have some little bookcases along the sides here. So I'd have a set of bookcases here and a set here that would run the length of the table to hold it up. And what I found was there's this folding table that I got at the store that's 8 feet long. And it's going to be 9 inches short on each side. And I've tried like pressing it down to see if it'll flip the table, and that wood is so heavy it's not going to flip the table. And so now what I'm doing is I'm using this folding table. So when I want this room for something else, except for there's one thing I can't take out, which I'll show you in just a little bit. But when I want this table out of here, I can take this board off. It's not attached to it. Carry it off. I can then fold up this table, take it out of here. So that is my table setup. Then what I've got in the background is just the sheets here. And how I got those was I just went to the thrift store. And course, sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't. It took several different trips to get there, but they're like $1. So I got each of these sheets here for $1, and I've got a system up here where I hang it up, and if I'm not using it, I can put them up like this and just get them out of the way, or I can take them down because they're just clothespins holding them up. So I can drop and get rid of these, and I put them back up. So these are just some sheets I found at the thrift store for like $1 each. So it makes a really cheap background. Now the hardest part was the lights. So I'm going to move this back and hope I can get the lights. So this is kind of my system. You're not going to see it all. It goes clear over to there to over there. These are just shades you can buy at like Walmart or wherever. And then the lights I got at Walmart, and they're like 950 lumens. I tested different lights, and I wish I could remember. Hold on, I'm going to get the light bulb so I can explain it. All right, I tried different lights, and these are the ones I've been buying. They've been around 980 lumens each up there, so like 980, 980. And why I got so many was I was finding out that if I didn't have, I got more than I had before, but if I would just put a few of them down, you'd get shadows. So when you're looking at a building, the building would make a shadow behind it, and it would obscure the vision of the camera. So this way I'm eliminating all the shadows around the building so everything shows up on the table. So when I buy these, they're the long-necked ones. So they stick down a little bit further, will spread out the light better. And then went back, and they don't have those anymore, so I've had to buy these, which these are 850 lumens. And they're a halogen light. They got a long neck on them. And another thing you want to be careful is this number down here, where it says like light appearance. There are some lights I've bought that turns things blue on the camera, and there's some that I've bought that turn things yellow. So if you go to a hardware store, they have displays set up showing you how that blue and yellow lighting kind of does affect the room. It will affect your camera. So I tried to find ones that were white, and these are 2750K. And you'll find they have to put these on the box, so you'll find the lumens on the box. And I really wanted to go back to 950, but all I could find was 850, and I didn't really want to go above 1,000. So I did the 850, and then around the 2750K, so it stays white, and it won't change. If you put models on the table, it's not going to change their color. And what I've done is I've just done this with PVC pipe. I was originally going with the 2-inch and brought them home and found out my cutter can't cut 2-inch PVC. So I've gone with the 1.5. This way I don't have as much bow. It does have give and stuff like that, but it's like an airplane wing. That's good. Won't break that way. Actually had to glue the top part. So all the way over there, I've glued it to all the way over there. Now, the legs, actually I'll go show you kind of the layout I did with the lights. I did one at each end. So it just kind of gets the shadows away from anything over here. Because it used to be the lights were here and you'd get shadows that way. So I put one light here. I did a row of 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, and then one at the end. So all I'm trying to do is when models are on the table here, I don't have shadows that's going to obscure that area. This way there's light in that area. If there's a model there, you can see it. I'm going to take you over to here and kind of show you how I made the sides. I used to, when I first made this at the other house, let me have to get this a little further back. The legs actually screwed into the side of the bookcases, and so I'm trying to get to where I can show you. Oh, Sorry about that spinning. The thing's kind of loose, so I can move this around. So here's the end of the table, and I would have the end of the bookcase, like right here. And then what I did was the pipes came up, and I actually screwed them into the bookcase to help hold it, so it wouldn't flop around and fall. But the problem was those poles got in the way when you're playing. So I kind of wanted to get them out of the way. So this is the system I devised for that. So I'm going to remove, we're going to look behind the curtain. So I'm going to move the sheet back and hope it, fling it up there and hope it stays. Oh, it did. Okay. So what I've got is up there, it goes, there's an elbow at each end, and I couldn't find a elbow that went across. So I just put an elbow here and an elbow there that goes down. And really none of this is glued together here. Just the top part is glued together. This is not glued together, so I could take it apart. Then what I did was I put one piece across for stabilization, and then another piece across for stabilization. And then for the bottom, oh, you can't see it. I put another one just for security down along the bottom, because if I didn't, I was afraid that these legs were going to fly out, fall, and then this mess would just fall over. So this is going to help keep it up. But another problem I found out was that these legs want to go in and out, and that could be a problem. So to fix that, I had this pipe go, and it goes underneath the table, and the exact same setup's over there, so that pipe is attached there. And this part here I did glue, because I didn't want that pipe sliding out. So I glued this pipe to that T. But these are not glued in, so I can take this piece out. So it runs down there. On that side, it's glued into that T over there, and that side is exactly the same way. And this way, these legs that are holding the lights up here are not going to go anywhere. Now, we haven't played with these down here, but I've moved around the table a lot, and you notice them, and I haven't tripped over them. I'm going to see. Yeah, it's no problem if the lights it looks like they're blinking wherever, they're just shaking. So, it's pretty sturdy. I was originally using 1-inch PVC, but that just didn't support the lights as well, and it had a huge bow in it when I was doing that. So this 1.5, I would have really liked to have gone 2-inch, but I had no cutter. So that is pretty much how I set up my, I'm going to say, studio for filming. I just want to put something up to let you know that I'm still here. I want to put stuff out, but the move, there was a lot to do with the move and getting things situated, getting this rebuilt and situated, because this is not originally where I thought I would put it, and it turns out it's going to be here. I was hoping to put it more in the basement. It's going to be a lot quieter and a lot more control, but this is where I've got it. And so it's a little behind the scenes of how I set up. Forgot the camera, where I set up the camera. To get the aerial where I'm looking, the shots like the beginning where you're looking down at the table, what I've done is the same tripod I have here. I'm going to wheel this thing up. There we go. I put up there, so every time I put the camera, here, hopefully it won't move. And if I take the camera down, I put it back up there, the camera's going to be ready, set up, and ready to go. So this is just another tripod that's attached to the frame here, and it actually can come undone if I need it. And what I've done is, I'm going to try to get this back where you can see. I just basically ran it over this one, but it goes underneath there. So it just holds that camera up there. So that is that. I totally forgot to tell you about how I set up this part. So I have two tripods, one that the camera's setting on now, and then this one. And I use the same base so I can quickly click them in and out as needed, because they have those quick attachments. So you can slide in and click it in, pull it out. And so I needed 2 of the exact same. All right, so that is my setup now. And I think this will be interesting. I'm going to put the wide angle lens on again to let you see how much of a difference this will make. So this is the regular lens. Whoops. Let me tighten this up so it won't spin on you. All right, so here's the regular lens. That's the wide angle. So regular, move it over here, wide angle. So you can see how much of a difference that wide angle, I really love this wide angle lens. I'm really glad I bought it. So that is it. That's a little behind the scenes. I just want to get something up to let you know I'm still here, and that hopefully soon I'll be putting up some battle reports or something else. So until next time, have a good game.